breakdown analysis. Before we go into deep into this week, let's drive back to what happened last week and let's redigest it again so that we can have a clear view of what the market is doing, right? So let's come back to Monday, but before that, let's come to weekly time frame. Let's come to weekly time frame and see what the market is doing. Okay, weekly time frame, we have this previous week candlestick that created a week. I came to retest this level of support. The surprise touching this zone over here. So which still tell us we still have buyers in this market that are still bullish, right? But then before we go into this new week, please, I want you guys to pay attention because this is gonna be a last video. After this breakdown this week, I'm going to take a little break before I come back again. So I want you guys to just pay attention to this breakdown. So Monday, if you watched the previous video, if you were on here on Monday, we had this breakdown together. We had a breakdown together, right? We saw what price did from Thursday. Price was consolidating because we have Holy Thursday, right? We had Holy Thursday, and there was no movement. There was no really major movement on Thursday. On Friday we had Good Friday. Market was not open because of what? Because there was a holiday. Bank did not open, right? And on same Friday, we have economic event. The economic event was CPI, and which, since the market did not open on Friday, you can see on Monday we had a gap. You understand, because the Friday news needs to occur. So on Sunday, when we had the Asian Open, we saw price creating a gap, and what we saw how price created a very long push, right? And mind you, you would constantly, like sometimes you will see something like this, and we can see sometime, incidents, something can just happen that will move the market, and you will just come on the chart on Monday or during the new week, and you just see a kind of gap. It's because something happened. We have an economic event that has happened that correction needs to take place before the main move happens, right? So that was what happened on Friday. We saw price creating a very big push and creating higher highs, right? We saw price breaking above this level of resistance, and we also have a resistance level that was broken above. We have this whole resistance level laying out, right? This zone over there, those key levels. And on the video on last weekly breakdown, I mentioned that we might likely see price. This was actually how I drew my whole chart, right? If you watch the video again, we might likely see price playing out this resistance level. I was hoping price would play out this level here, this resistance level here, but price didn't get to that level. So sometimes it's not going to come perfect. But did it actually came to that level whereby price came to reject the level? Yes, it does. And we also saw price creating a weak volume on the Asian section same day, right after that imbalance area. So after that big push, usually you will likely to see a pullback, right? So, but then we saw price creating a weak volume. So something we also know as a distribution phrase. At this point, all distribution phase and accumulation phase can also occur in lower time frame. And let me give example what I mean again. about the distribution first. So we saw our price created a resistance level, right? We saw our price breaking this level of support here, and also we also saw price breaking that level of support there, right? Playing out this place a little bit, coming back up to create a resistance level. And during the London session, we also saw price coming back to create a resistance level, but you can see price did not break above that level. We saw our price melt down, right, during the New York session, from the London session to the New York session, right? But we saw price coming back up again to clear out these highs, but then we didn't clear out a very valuable place. This place that doesn't make sense, right? We saw our price rejected that level like 3 times and met it down, right? Breaking this overall resistance, overall support level. This whole previous New York support level here on Thursday last 2 weeks, right? So price break below this level. We saw pullback during the London, during the New York session, and price created a weak volume. But at the end of it, we saw our price created a resistance level. There's a little bit of resistance level during that section, right? And what did we see? We saw price creating a consolidation. Price was consolidating. But one thing you should notice is that price actually did not clear out that previous New York support. Is a key level, because the moment price clearing out this level here, we might likely see price buying a little bit, clearing out this whole high. That doesn't make sense. So like I said before, why did I say this place doesn't make sense? You can see I write out a DMS. It doesn't actually make sense, because that high is a place where price will likely want to come clear and create the main move. So price did not make that move that day, which was on Tuesday. We saw our price melting down. So this is the other way you want to see it. So just because that area, you are expecting that area to clear out, that doesn't mean you will not apply market structure. So if you've been following up, just because I call this whole place area that doesn't make sense, doesn't mean you will not apply a market structure. So price has been creating a lower high and a lower low. We can see our price was creating a lower high and a lower low. We can see our price breaking above this level of support. What does that tell us? And knowing that the previous New York resistance did not break above, then we saw our London session melt down, right? So that was it. And if you watch the same video on that previous week, right, we had this whole breakdown together, and I mentioned where price would likely want to come touch and clear out. We have a London support level here, and I explained that the reason why I think price would likely want to come this area to clear this area is that, look at, I will explain again, so that you get to have the whole clear view. So right now, this area doesn't make sense, because if a move want to take place in the London session, if you see something like this, usually what New York session is going to do is going to clear out this whole, right, this whole London level, creating a new support level below and making that push. So if you see something like this, price create a support level during the New York session, and during the London session, and New York session coming to create a higher low above it, it means price will likely come at some point. Price will come back down to clear that place, to correct that area, right? So you want to, wait and also take advantage of the sell, knowing that price will likely come to clear out that low, right? We still also have place that doesn't make sense, a support level that doesn't also make sense. But now that's when you need to come to the higher time frame and see actually what the higher time frame is doing. Now that we are bullish on the higher time frame, still bullish, we just gonna catch this also as a weekly pullback. So I say that price will likely want to come clear out this support level. And what happened there? You can see our price melted down Once price created a support level, how did you see the support level? It actually closed below and make a correction. So we can see our price created a weak volume, right? Coming back up and creating a what? A resistance level. We saw our price creating a what? A higher high. And what happened again the next day, which is on Wednesday? Now, I want to really pick the point at this bull trade on Wednesday. So now, 5 minutes time frame, we have price, right? Because at this point, I was waiting for a buy setup. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I was waiting for price to buy. You understand? So I didn't wake up actually on the Asian section, right? If I had wake up at that point, maybe I would have cashed this wholesale before I take an entry for buy, right? So, but then I mark up my previous New York. Since it was buy I wanted to take, right? What I did was I mark up my previous New York support level. This is a level I was waiting for price to come respect, right? So let's go back to 15 minutes time frame. That area was a level I was waiting for price to respect before we see buyers coming in. And what happened during that key level? We saw our price came to touch that level, rejected it, pull back a little bit during the London session. We saw our price coming around that area to test it. So if you have an entry at this point here, it's a good entry, honestly. But then that's when stop loss also matters, right? Sometimes, I usually say having a 25 stop loss. Yeah, sometimes, you need to be realistic with the stop loss, So now that we saw our price is rejecting this key level, so what are we going to do? We will look for a key level again that we know that once price break above or below that key level, we might likely see price continue buying or selling, right? So now, since we are going to buy, we still also have an option that once price break this level here, we also have a support level that we are expecting for price to come touch, right? And we also have a main one here because this is a very big one here, because if price should break this level, it's actually a BOS. Price will likely want to price will likely continue to sell. So what happened there? We saw our price came back to tap that level. But the reason why I had this trade, even if I took an early entry and price, I was on drawdown a little bit, drawdown, right? I was about like 25 pips drawdown. So I was looking at this position, and the next thing is that I mark up my DMS. I was waiting for price to correct the invalid area. So now we had price creating a support level during the London session, this area here, right? So if we are to see buyers still in this market, what will I be waiting for? I see, like, what? Since I was going to buy, price still need to come down a little bit to clear out the support level, right? Then for the main move to happen. So we actually have a news on this day. I can't remember the news exactly. So what happened? We saw our price playing out this London support, because usually when the main move start is usually the main move usually start during the New York session. So we can see price created a support level. We still actually had a resistance level during the London session. So when the New York session opened, we had price creating a resistance level right during the New York session. But then we also have a London support level that needs to be correct. So price came back and correct that level, and you can see our price test this level here. We have this area here price was testing, right? So we finally saw price creating a very big push. You understand? We had this break of structure at this point here. We saw price breaking that level, creating a new higher highs. We saw our price was creating a new higher. So at this point, I took that entry was really good. But then if you have a tighter stop loss, you might likely get stopped out. So now we saw our price creating a higher high. So what usually happens if price should create a new higher high? We will likely see price creating a higher low for the price to continue. So now we saw our price came back down, clearing out this old gap, taking 50% imbalance area. We saw our price touching, respecting this old zone here, and what price went back up again. So looking at the world market, how the market closed on Wednesday, right? Before we talk about it Thursday, you can see price create a little bit of support. But before I go into this Wednesday trade, I want you to understand that some of the time in the week, if you're a day trader, in a week you would likely see 2 or 3 good moves. Most of the time it's just 2, you understand? And most of the time it's just only 1 good move, you understand? So in those days of where you can catch the move, you need to understand what actually is going on, what has happened in the previous week, for you to understand what will likely happen in the new week, right? So it's so important for you to understand that a day trader, you will likely catch like 2 or 3 good moves. So you don't want to be trading all the time. So if you get stop out, relax, there's always going to be a move. So if you get stop out at this point and you are confused where the market is going, like the market direction, the moment you saw this BOS price breaking this level of resistance, creating a new one, higher high, right? What does that take? What does it take for you? You know that price will likely want to retest this level, before continuation. So this was a zone that you would be looking to take an entry again, understand? Or you can see our price came back to test this level if you actually want to play safe, because we also have a resistance level over here too. So at this point, this actually do make sense. Price, coming to retest this level after breaking above that resistance level. So we can see our price continue buying since then. And again, we had a target, right? And the target was actually, not that we had a target. I actually had my own personal target. And my target was actually the area that doesn't make sense. So since I was buying, I had a position here, which is on Tuesday, right? Even on Wednesday, I had a position here because I had a buy limit that came after price touched that level I was targeting because of the sell, right? When the sell occurred, automatically I had a buy position. Even the next day, which is on Wednesday, I had a buy position. So now, when I was buying, when I was in this buy position, my target was this level here. So we have this area that doesn't make sense. This actually is a resistance level during the London session. And like I said before, if usually price want to make the original move, it will not create its resistance level during the London session. What would happen is price would actually create a kind of consolidation, and New York session will open, creating a new resistance level during the New York session before we see the main drop. So knowing that I saw this, I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna wait for the buy position and sell instant. So now what happened, we saw our price make the whole move, breaking above. And what did we see after price broke above that level? Now we saw our price broke down. You can see our price this would say this was about almost 500 pips. This is about 450 something pips, right? So, but then the whole move happened. Did we see the move that happened here? You can see our price broke above this previous London resistance level, creating the main move. You can see. So now we still also have a level here. You can see I mark up this place. This is DMS, knowing that price will likely want to come correct this level here, you understand? So that's why I think the sell came in, and we also even see the sell, making a very big push. But now let's go back to on Thursday. Why I took the trade on Thursday. I already knew my target on Tuesday already. I had an entry on Tuesday. On Wednesday, I had an entry. even on after this pullback, I had the entry here. On Asia session, I was awake because I still knew where my target was going to clear. This is where my target, right? I had to take a position again. This was about 120 something pips, right? So we had price creating a very big push, but price did not clear that level yet. We saw our price create a pullback, respecting this level that was broken above before. And what happened during the London session? London session created a support level. We saw price creating a new higher high during the New York session, right? So now, if you did not catch this whole move, let's say this is a bunch of, like, to you might probably be what's it called, accumulation phrase. But the moment you see this breakout, it's an insight for you to what, get in the trade as soon as possible after this pullback, or you come the next day, which is on Thursday, and execute your Asian entry. That is more effortless because now you might likely see price going your way to continue the whole move. You understand? So what happened the same day on Thursday? We saw our price creating a weak volume. So this is a weak volume actually. You can see the higher highs, there was no strength for the continuation. So usually what happened is that after the pullback for the continuation, you might likely see price creating a very big push, you understand? But then New York session came, we saw this whole push. So on Friday, I didn't execute any trade. I didn't even look at the chart on Friday. And I think there was an NFP news on Friday, but I would talk about it a little bit, and let's if I would take a trade on Friday, I would take a buy entry as early as possible and exit before the news time, because NFP is very volatile and it might likely take you out. So if I have an entry during the Asian session here, because we have a previous New York support level that I might be looking to see if price is going to likely want to break below. So since price came to retest that level, we didn't see price. This area is actually support level, right? Let's come down to 5 minutes time frame. You can see this area is actually support level, right? So you can see price sell a little bit, creating a bunch of, accumulation. There was no clear direction to finally see a break, right? Price breaking this resistance level here. Let's say price broke above that level. And if you have had your entry, and you'll be able to catch, let's say you catch let's say you catch before the New Year session, you catch like about 50 pips, and which is actually quite a big move. But also, I wouldn't want to take that kind of trade because I know we have a NFP news coming in, and we saw our price create a liquidity. Price came back to clear this whole gap before we saw price continue the move. So, but for me, there's something I saw here, right? Now, we have a resistance level during the London session. Look at what I mean here, right? Let's just look at. So we have this resistance level, right? It is more clearer on 5 minutes time frame. It is more clear on 5 minutes time frame. So looking at 5 minutes time frame, we have this London resistance, right? And we also have this London support. So I want you to see something. So now, before the New York came, I saw this, right? I saw this. Like if I was looking at the chart and if I want to execute the trade, because I didn't even trade on that Friday. But seeing this right now, before the New York session, I would mark up areas that doesn't make sense, right? So we have this London resistance and we have this London support. So what happened? We saw our price melt down and sell a little bit, and we saw this pullback. So finally, we saw price creating what makes sense. London session creating a high, breaking above this level, right? Now, we also saw price selling back down a little bit, breaking below the support level. Now, it's balanced. At this point, price created a new support level, right? So what happened there? We saw our price after this level was cleared, this support level, this lot of support level was cleared. So now we saw our price creating the main move. So if I would want to take entry after this break of structure, I would just like wait for the pullback, price retesting this level, and flow with the market. So at this point, you can see that you need to understand that New York session is going to create the main move. You understand? So you want to be able to understand when to take and exit your Asian entry. So, and if you also want to take a trade during the New York session, you also need to understand that you need to mark the areas that doesn't make sense so that you can know when to take your entry during the New York session, because some of the time it might be confusing for you to understand that, oh, the New York session is so volatile, it's so volatile, especially trading Nasdaq, right? So let's look at this setup. Does this setup actually does make sense with during the New York session? Yeah, we can dive in all around, right? We can dive in and look for let's look for it right now, right? So let's say something like this trade. We have a previous New York, right? We have Asia entry, price did not break below this level, right? Price created a higher low. So we can see our price created a higher high. So what happened? We saw our price melt down and come down and create a support level with higher low during the London session. Now, this place doesn't make sense right now, right? But that doesn't mean I want to exit my trade. Don't forget that Asian entry 2 is so good so that you can catch the amount of pips you're looking for and you're done for the day. If you don't want to take the entry during the New York session. So it's just an option for you to understand that, okay, I need to understand this concept of market, what's going on. So what happened? Price created a resistance level during the London session. You can see we got in and price created a support level. But what happened during the New York session? New York session finished the whole move before clearing out those areas that doesn't make sense. Okay, so let's talk about the same day. Price tend to create a very weak volume here, and we can see our price created a higher high. Price created a higher low. Now I just want you to give this example here. The price is kind of buggy, right? So you can see price tend to clear out this. You can see our price tend to clear out this low. New York session came to clear out this low before we saw price creating the big push during the Monday move. So you always see this kind of setup, but then Asian entry is actually more effortless. So in a week you want to look for it at least 2 times, 3 times is okay. If you catch like 150 pips, you should be good for the whole week, right? So you also want to be able to know the area that doesn't actually make sense. So let's talk about this new week real quick, because we have like 9 minutes for this Zoom to end. I actually gonna send a new link so that we can rejoin to if after this session is done. So let me clear out this whole drawing. During on Friday. Let's come to weekly time frame first of all. We have this, price creating a resistance level here. We saw price creating a pullback, closing above. Actually, this bearish candlestick did not close below, right? Yeah, right, did not close below. So what does this tell us? We might likely see price continue buying a little bit. So let's mark up the resistance level. Now let's say price will likely want to buy and come respect this resistance level here. So let's mark up the resistance level there. Let's say we mark up this resistance level here. So this is a key area. Let's come down to daily time frame. Okay, that does make sense. Let's come to 15 minutes time frame. Okay, you can see that area was the area that actually doesn't make sense. Maybe we might likely see price actually breaking above that area during the buy, right? So now my take on this new week, the way the market is going to open, I feel like market is likely going to buy a little bit. But wait, first of all, my likely see price selling, coming back down. Price will likely want to sell a little bit before we see buyers coming in, right? So what I think price is going to do is we might likely see price selling a little bit to London session or to the New York session. So before we see buy coming back down. So I feel like right now we're already creating a weak volume during the New York session. Price already created a high. So this did not break above this. This is an example of weak volume, right? We saw our price, created a resistance level. But paying attention to what I see here is that the sale actually did not continue, right? The sale actually did not continue. We end up seeing this candlestick closing. So now we don't have a sense of direction right here. We don't have a sense of direction right here. So since we are actively buying already, market is already creating a weak volume. This sell did not continue, right? What does that tell us? Let's mark up our previous level that is important. So let's say this is a previous New York support level. Because if price should break below that level, might likely see price selling down. We still also have a previous New York support level that still needs to be cleared out, right? But then price we need to see how the Asian session move first of all, right? So did we have areas that doesn't make sense that I'll probably want to clear? No, I don't think we don't have, right? So now we have this whole level here. So the Asian session, I think price will likely want to come touch a little bit this area before we see the buy coming back up, right? Playing out these highs. So now what I think is that my price will likely want to come clear out this level here. We have areas here that price will likely want to come clear out this here. But one thing you want to watch out for is that if price, after price clearing out this so high here, we might likely see a very huge drop again. We might likely see price dropping and selling back down. So, but take note, you still want to wait to see how the open is going to look like, right? You still want to wait to see how the open is going to look like. So what is the sense of direction at this moment is that buyers are intact. You understand? Buyers are in. We see price, creating a weak volume here because the sellers actually did not continue. And we also have a key level, this support level. Price did not actually break below it, right? So we can see our price reject that level first, second, third, even fourth, right? So now there is going to be a key level right here, right? This level here, which is the previous New York support. So at this point, we want to see how Asian session is going to react to that zone. Are we going to see price closing below? Once we see price closing below and creating a pullback to test that level, we might likely see price selling back down again. And one thing we want to do is, okay, for we to have an insight, let's mark up another previous level again, and let's see how price is going to react to those key levels. So if you now see price reacting to this level here, let's say price broke below and start, selling to this zone here. This is a key zone again. This is a key level here, right? So you want to see how price is, rejecting. So you have to see like about, 3 tap, for you to understand that, okay, we saw price getting to this level. We didn't see the break below. So we saw price creating a support level, creating a pullback. So we should see a continuation, but now we didn't see a continuation. We see price creating another support level a little bit above the previous one. So that is giving us a reversal vibe. So we might likely want to take advantage of the buy at that moment and look at the next target. Now, this is where your own personal decision comes in. How much money is enough money for you? You need to know how much pips you want to target, your amount of pips you want to take per your capital. This is where your decision, self-decision comes in, right? And once you're done, you're done. You're not looking at the whole chart and trying to do anything else. So, but for my own insight, I feel like this high here is gonna get cleared. You can probably want to hold it. It's up to you. But that's what I think the market will probably do. And after price clearing out that level, because usually the resistance level doesn't start during the New York session, or neither does it start during the Asian session. So now this level needs to clear out for we to have a balance. And after we have a balance, we should see a kind of a weak volume for a sell again. We can also take advantage of that. But then this is the important one first, right? We need to see how Asian open and how Asia react to this zone. So if you have a question, we have a 2 minutes. I'm actually done analyzing. If you have a question, you can ask within these 2 minutes so we can, call it a done.
Yeah, I think I'm clear. I'm clear with you.
Okay. Okay. You think you're clear? Okay, which is good. So you need to also understand how New York session works. The New York session is always going to provide opportunity for Asian. I understand. And once you see price accumulating and you see a major BOS, if you didn't catch this move, it doesn't mean you can also catch the Asian. We have usually see something like this, understand, all the time. So you don't want to like, oh, you know what, I missed this move, or you want to force the trade. There's always going to be next opportunity, so don't force it. Just wait, understand, so just don't force it. And for the key level, I always mark out like the area that doesn't make sense is actually sometimes when you want to swing or you want to have a deep inside of the area you think might likely want to get cleared, right? So that is when you start looking at those areas that, where actually doesn't make sense on a higher time frame. Imagine you see all those levels around time frame. Now on 1 hour time frame is more even clearer, right? Look at this zone here, it's more even clearer. So now you can, price might likely want to come clear that level. And if price did not get to clear that level, what is your side? We might likely also see price coming down to level that actually don't make sense. So if I would mark up again, I would come down and look for areas. Okay, let's say we have this one here, right? So we might likely see price, okay, coming to reject this whole level. We actually saw price clearing that level already, but still, that should be a area we might likely see price coming to touch if we end up seeing sell. But for me, I feel like buyers are still in because we already created a weak volume at this spot here. Let me quickly. So this is just continuation real quick. It's not going to be so long. But one thing I want you to also pay attention to is that this is 1 hour time frame. We also have this area that doesn't make sense here. Right, this area too also doesn't make sense. So eventually, after this eye gets cleared, we might likely see price coming back down to clear this low too, right? That is something that is the take I want to give, right? We might likely see price clearing down this low, and just because this is not where the support level usually start from. So once you are seeing these areas, it will also give you an insight what will likely want to happen in the future and where actually you are in the market. So you want like, okay, you know what, you might likely see price, getting this low support level getting cleared out, right? So that's my take on that. And also, I just want to quickly talk about let's see if we can also see areas that will likely want to get cleared out. If you go back and back test, you will find you will definitely see areas that would likely get cleared out. So we also have this area here too, right? We also have this level here that doesn't make sense, and in the future we might likely see this level getting cleared out, right, in the future. So that is what you want to be looking for. Areas like that would eventually get cleared out. So now on higher time frame, we still look very much bullish, right? We just want to flow with the trend. and then after that, you still want to see what the market is doing at a particular section for you to, you know, um, execute your trade. So the section tells you what actually is going on in the market, right? The section tells you what actually going in the market. So I feel like market is likely gonna get cleared. Yeah, it's gonna get cleared out. This is a stand level, and I explained why I think that level is gonna get cleared out, right? And also, we should also use our RSI. If you have the RSI to, let's say right now, price has really bought at this moment. So that's why I think, like I was saying before, that's why I think price would likely want to sell it to be down. And this area I marked up is a key level area market will likely want to come touch. But if we see price not coming back down or breaking below the support level here and creating a new support level above, we might likely see a reversal, like I explained before, coming back down to clear out this resistance level that actually doesn't make sense. Like I explained, that this level here is not usually how the resistance level formed, right? So what is going to happen is that we're going to see something like this that happened during the last week after this price create a resistance level during the northern section, and that is not where the move usually started from, right? If market actually want to make the original move. So we saw price coming back down up to clear out that resistance level before the market sell down, right? And that will give you a confidence in knowing that, okay, this area are area that will likely want to get cleared out. So the next area I would think, even if the buy to come to place, since we are looking to buy, this area here will be like a target. And if we should check the amount of pips, depending on where we take our entry for, that's about 300 pips plus. So be aware of how the Asian session is going to form a structure before you execute your trade. The Asian session is actually going to give you insight of what the day is going to look like. And also, it's also going to give you an insight the invalid areas that you would be wanting to clear out. So the amount of pips you want to target is up to you. The amount of stop loss you want to have is also up to you. I give you an explanation of how much pips I usually target, but depending on the market structure though, because sometimes I get more, like I get to have like 30 pip stop loss each time. So yeah, that was it. And that will be this for the week. So if you did enjoy the video early, like the video is recorded, I'm gonna upload it on the chat so you can rewatch the Zoom. So I hope you guys have a profitable week, and peace out.